Praying to Ganapati will remove your obstacles, but praying to this particular form of Ganapati gives you a whole lot more. So stay with me and let's learn about Shakti Ganapati today. Now you may have heard of Ganapati, or maybe this is your first time you're hearing of this god. But Lord Ganesha, Lord Ganapati, is known for removing obstacles. Typically when we start something new, he's the first god we pray to. So who is this form of god which has a female deity with him? Some in parts of India see Ganapati as a bachelor. Other parts of India, Ganapati is known with Riddhi and Siddhi. So what makes Shakti Ganapati different from all the other forms of Ganapati which have a female deity? So is he the only one? No, he is not the only Ganapati with a female deity sitting on his left thigh or on his lap. And if you see the illustrated version of the 32 types of Ganapati, this is in the SriTattvaNidhi. It's a text from Karnataka. This was commissioned by King Vodayar III, King Krishnaraju Vodayar III. And you can see there are 8 Ganapatis which are illustrated with a Shakti. The first time we really see a list of different forms of Ganapati, the most comprehensive list, is given in the Mudgala Purana. This text, it gives us a list of 32 Ganapatis, of which Shakti Ganapati is one of them. This is not our only source. It's very important to know authentic sources for finding information about gods and goddesses are Sharada Tilakam, MantraMahodadhi, Mantramaharnva. These are 3 other sources which explicitly give information about Shakti Ganapati. How do we pray? What do we get when we pray to Shakti Ganapati? What are the mantras and what is the form of this Ganapati? What does this Ganapati look like? So Sharada Tilakam gives us a very detailed description of what Shakti Ganapati looks like and what is the Devta associated, what is the Shakti actually called. The Shakti, the female deity with Lord Ganapati, is called Pushti. And this form of Ganapati, the Shakti Ganapati, is actually associated with Tantra. So even in Sharada Tilakam, when there's a description of Shakti Ganapati and his mantra, we see that the verse says Tantre Udita. So in Tantra, or with respect to the Tantra tradition, the god of the mantra is called Udita and the goddess is Pushti. So there is an association of Shakti Ganapati with the Tantric tradition. Now another important thing is that we might find differing descriptions of Shakti Ganapati. For example, SriTattvaNidhi, Ganesha is described to be red in color. One of his hands is in the Abhaya Mudra. But when we look at Sharada Tilakam, which is a really important text which describes how we worship the gods, which mantra, how to chant it, the procedure, how to do the dhyana, the meditation on the god. So this very authoritative Sanskrit text, it gives a different description of Shakti Ganapati. So let's see that. Mukta Gauram Madhagaj Mukham Chandrachuram Trinetram. He is the bright color of a pearl. He has a moon on his forehead. He has the face of an elephant with ever-flowing rut, and he has 3 eyes. And in his 4 hands are described a gourd, a kumbha full of gems, precious stones, a lotus, and the 4th hand is touching the goddess. I'm gonna show a picture over here and you can see what it looks like. And the goddess is sitting on his lap, on his left side, and she is radiant like the lotus, and one of her hands is touching the god, Ganapati, and the other one is holding a lotus. So this is a very archetypical description of Shakti Ganesha. In the SriTattvaNidhi, he is described as red in color. MantraMahodadhi describes him quite differently. We don't see the description of the goddess touching him or Ganapati touching her in this manner. And Mantramaharnva follows MantraMahodadhi in the description. Now I will go over how he's described in MantraMahodadhi, which is another really important text when we want to see again the descriptions of gods and goddesses, how to pray to them. There are elaborate steps on how to do this. I'm going to look at my translation. So we see a depiction, again, Shakti Ganesha always has 4 arms. But here, differing from Sharada Tilakam, we have Ganapati is holding similarly the Ankusha, the gourd, but now he has a mala of Rudraksha, a string of Rudraksha. His left hand is holding a pasha, which is a noose, and a tusk. And in his tusk, in his trunk, he's holding a modakam. MantraMahodadhi is giving us a slightly conservative description of Shakti Ganapati. The god and the goddess are not touching each other in the way they are, as described in Sharada Tilakam. And Mantramaharnva is literally following what MantraMahodadhi is saying. So there are important distinctions. And if you Google ShaktiGanesha, you're going to find this picture. Now, this picture of this idol of Ganapati, which has been labeled as Shakti Ganapati, yeah, if we are going to call every Ganapati with a Shakti Ganapati, sure. But we have descriptions in the text. So this is technically Mahaganapati. Mahaganapati has 10 arms. Shakti Ganapati has 4. This is the correct version. So why am I making this video on Shakti Ganapati? Because it's very difficult to find information about Shakti Ganapati. When I tried to find information, it was really hard. I then found one source, then another, then translated the verses. There are translations available, but I like to do that. And I found out that you can get so many things by praying to Shakti Ganapati. You can get wealth, you can get status, you can get an amazing life partner if you pray to Shakti Ganapati. So we have all these descriptions of Shakti Ganapati, and you might think, is there a temple dedicated to him where you could go and pray to him or see his big murti, his idol? I couldn't find one. I have found there are very famous temples to Mahaganapati, Uchishta Ganapati. For example, in Puri, in the temple complex, you find a Uchishta Ganapati. In Karnataka, you find Uchishta Ganapati, and people typically pray to him for getting a child if they're having trouble having a child. So you'll see there are many different forms of Ganapati. We just might not know them. And if you're interested in knowing more about Mahaganapati or Uchishta Ganapati, please like and subscribe.